thanks for coming back to my channel and listening to me talk about my experiences related to pregnancy, infant loss, and infertility. And hopefully something that I put out there can help someone. Today I've chosen to talk about ideas for what to do when you've experienced a loss, whether that's from conception through birth. We have a lot of ceremonies and recognized ways of celebrating the loss of other members of our family, like our parents or our grandparents in America. But there aren't really a lot of ways to recognize for families pregnancy or infant loss. And I wanted to give people a couple of tools and a couple of ideas on what you can do if you do experience a pregnancy and infant loss. And you want to have a way to kind of not forget what happened to you, but close that chapter for yourself so that you can go back and look at it, but also so that you have a feeling of, all right, now I'm going to start writing the next page in my story. One of the things I recently learned about was that of the 2 days of Dia de los Muertos, the first day is just to celebrate and remember the losses of pregnancy and infants, children. And the second day is for all the rest of the family members. So I thought that was a pretty beautiful tradition for people of Hispanic origin. Whether or not you celebrate Dia de los Muertos or you don't, there are still a lot of options to go forward and to be able to do something for yourself and your family. I think the first thing that a lot of people really need to understand is that if you're going to do something to celebrate the life of your child, no matter how short a time you had them, or to kind of go through the grief of that loss, that it's not about anybody else or what anybody else wants. Understand that it's 100% about you. Be okay if people don't get it. Even though pregnancy and infant loss is a very prevalent thing, not everybody's comfortable with talking about it or being around a situation that represents something that could be scary to them, or they could have gone through something themselves and never done anything, and they don't have that kind of closure, and maybe they feel bad about it or left out or like they can't do something now. So just be aware that it can be sensitive, but be okay with doing what you need to do, whether people tell you it's crazy or not. Trust your instincts. I think we really know what we personally need to be happy and healthy, and a lot of times we let other people talk us out of what we know we need to do for us to be good. And I'm telling you, it's okay to do what you know you need to do to feel better, and to have that happy and healthy life going forward. You have lots of options. There are so many options that you can do, and it can be anything from a small intimate thing, just you and your spouse or your partner, to as big as you want to go. So with my first daughter, Shalimar, we had a pretty big memorial back home with our family, and we laid out a table because she was born alive at 23 weeks and died 3 hours later. So we laid out a table with pictures and her hand and footprints, and I have this little memory box of her, and inside it, it's got like her, again, her little hand and footprints, and some of her little clothes that she wore, just so that we could share that with the family and friends that couldn't necessarily be with us then. And we also had her cremated, and which is an option. And so we brought her little urn with us. See if you can see this. Can't drop her. So let's see. There she is. The little heart urn. So that everybody could just be with us and see it. And we had a very short ceremony where we just talked about how much we loved and missed her. And then we released balloons up into the sky, and it was lovely. And for our second daughter, we had a little bit smaller of a ceremony, but we stayed home and invited a little bit more of friends and co-workers. And we actually just talked about our family motto, and then our daughter's name, and we hung it up. We hung up our daughter's name underneath our family motto, so you can actually see it behind me. This is Shalimar, and then this is Lilith over here, just so that they're always recognized as a part of our family, even though they're not here. And on that one, we had little, I guess, favors, where people could go and just feed the birds in honor of our daughter. So I'm not sure if that came out okay. But it was very nice, and it was a little bit smaller, and we had some food afterwards. People stuck around for about an hour or so and then headed out, so we were able to rest afterwards. But do whatever it is that you feel like you need to do. You can release butterflies, you can release doves if you want to go out and have a hike by yourself and go to a waterfall, or wherever it feels right for you to be, go ahead and do that. I know in some states they won't allow funerals for children who weren't born alive, but even if you can't have the funeral right there at the funeral home, don't let that deter you from having it somewhere else. You can have it at a community center, you can have it at your house, you can do something at a restaurant. Sky's the limit. You can let your imagination go with this. Wherever it is, just let it be somewhere that's comfortable for you and that fits what you're going for. And then my third tip is give people something to do. Like I said before, we don't have a lot of rituals or understood ways of acting around pregnancy and infant loss. For a lot of people, it's really uncomfortable, and they're just not sure how to act or what to do to help you. And a lot of times people really do want to help in some ways, but they have no idea how to do it. So again, it's 100% up to you, but I found that people really appreciate it when you give them something that they can physically do to sort of help them and help you with your loss. So for Shalimar, in addition to releasing the balloons, we asked that people, if they felt up to it, either write notes to my husband and I, or write notes to our daughter, saying how they missed her or what they were thinking she was going to be like. And we've read those off and on, especially on her birthday, and they're just so genuine and heartfelt for us. It was very helpful. We gave little paper mache feathers that had flower seeds in them for Shalimar. And then for Lilith, we asked people to write notes of hope for the future, and we gave them packets of seeds to feed the birds. But you can do pretty much anything. Plant seeds, plant trees. You can ask people to place flowers in a specific location if you want. You can release balloons, you can write letters, notes, decorate geocaching stones, have them put it in places. Again, sky's the limit, it's up to you, and be okay if people aren't okay with doing it again. Let the people participate that want to participate, and then let the ones that aren't ready just, do whatever they can do to be there for you, especially if they're trying. And then the last thing that I've got is, if you are going to plan to do something in honor of the loss of your child, have a plan, and then also have an escape plan. So I always have a way to where if I get overwhelmed and if I need to leave, that I've got a friend or my husband or a family member or the host, whoever's there, that I can go to and I can be like, hey, I love you guys. I'm just feeling like I need some time to myself right now. And so I'm going to have to go escape the house or go sleep in a room. Or you can say, oh, I spilled something on myself and I got to go take a 20-30 minute shower, or you need to go take a walk. Whatever it is, just give yourself and allow yourself to have the freedom that it's okay to have the ceremony and not necessarily 100% be there the whole time, because it can be really emotionally and mentally taxing for people. Just do what feels right for you. Be kind to yourself. Always remember that it's not your fault and that it is 100% fine, and actually probably a very good thing to go ahead and have some sort of ceremony that marks that portion of your life. Because it helps you remember that what you went through was real. Your pain is real. Your hurt is real. And also that the hope is real to go forward. And it can give you a real sense of support when people are there for you. Having a ceremony that recognizes the impact of the loss of your child, whether that's from a day after you got the extra pink or blue line on that stick, or it's 40 weeks later. That pregnancy, that child was real to you, and you already had hopes and dreams and so much love for that child before they ever emerged openly into this world. And so the loss of that possibility, the loss of that child, the loss of those hopes and dreams, that's real and it's painful, and it deserves recognition. And right now, my cat is trying to get my recognition because I guess she thinks I'm not giving her enough attention today. So I'll go ahead and say thank you guys again for being here, and I appreciate all the time that you've got. If you've got any suggestions for me to make this better for you, or anything that you'd like me to talk about, please let me know. Let me like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.